Hello friends, thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for your support this far. If you haven't subscribed, I will request you to subscribe and hit that bell button so that when I upload a clip, you'll be able to be alerted. Now in this session, I want us to look at how to add and subtract surds, addition and subtraction of surds. But before surds are added, there are certain two conditions that must be fulfilled. So let's look at them before we look at a few cases. Conditions for addition and subtraction of surds. There are two conditions and both must be fulfilled, not either. So one is that they must be the two surds or more surds to be added or subtracted must be of the same order. And two, the number under the radical or under the root sign. Remember, we talked about the root sign also being referred to as the radical, must be the same. So these two conditions are very important insofar as addition and subtraction of surds are concerned. So for example, if you could be asked to evaluate or to add root 3 plus root 3. These are two surds, both of the same order, order 2, and the number under the root is 3. So these can be added because they fulfilled the conditions. And remember, addition and subtraction of surds is done the same way addition and subtraction in algebra was performed. So for instance, like in algebra, if you have two, let's say a plus a, you get 2a. So in this case also, like we have root 3 plus root 3, this gives us root 2 root 3. If we take another example, like we have root 5 plus even 6 root 5, you can see here we have root 5 and 6 root 5. Surds of the same order, order 2, and the number under the root sign is 5. So in this case, we have 1 plus 6, then our root 5, and this gives us 7 root 5. You can see root 5, that is 1 root 5, just simply read as root 5 plus 6 root 5 gives us 7 root 5. Let's consider a case of subtraction. For instance, you are given 7 root 6 minus, say, 3 root 6, then minus again, let's say, root 13. Now in this case, we have three surds: 7 root 6, 3 root 6, and root 13. We are told to subtract. Now here, only two surds, the first two, fulfill the two conditions that we have seen above there. And therefore, to do this, you can work out on this like we have there. That gives us 7 root 6 minus 3 root 6 it will be 7 minus 3, then with our root 6, then minus root 13. And this gives us 4 root 6 minus root 13. Now, here we again, finally we have two surds, but only one condition is fulfilled. The two surds are of the same order, but you can see under the root here we have root 6, and there we have root 13. So this second condition that we said has not been fulfilled, and therefore we can't go further than this in this problem here, in the solution to this problem. So this is our final answer, and this is the farthest we can go with this question that we have here. Now if we can't, if there are the two conditions are not met, then you leave it the surd as it is. Now let's consider another case. For instance, we have the fourth case. We are asked to evaluate, for instance, evaluate, let's say you are given a surd like root 2, for instance, minus root 98, or plus root 98. Let's consider plus. Then you're asked to evaluate this. From the face of it, you can see this can't be solved from the face of it as it is, because we have, even though they are of the same order, we have different numbers under the root. So before we decide or conclude that it is possible or it is impossible to add these two, we need to first of all simplify, to write in its simplest form this surd. Root 2 is already in its simplest form. So what we do, if we consider it aside here, we know that root 98 is also the same as root 49 times 2, which is the same as root of 49 times root of 40 of 2. Okay? If we take the positive side, we know that 49 is a perfect square, and therefore this gives us root 2. So you can see, therefore, that what we have here can also be written as root 2 plus 7 root 2. Now at this stage, now we can see you have two surds of the same order and the same number under the root. Therefore, we can add them and simplify and get one surd. So like in this case, we have 1 root 2, simply read as root 2 plus 7 root 2, and the answer therefore becomes 8 root 2. So it's very important that before you decide and conclude that it is impossible to add or subtract surds, like in this case, it is important that you first of all simplify the surd that is not yet in its simplest form. Then after which you check if the two conditions that we had earlier mentioned are met. If they are met, then you're good to go, continue and simplify your work. So in this case, our answer is 8 root 2. Thank you so much for your audience. And if you have any comments to make, please go to the comment section and make the comments. And probably if you have any suggestions, we'll be glad to incorporate them even as we prepare for the next clip. Thank you. Have a nice time. See you next time in the next lesson. And take care.